What's up, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram? I'm getting set up on the live here today. This is my first live in the new office. All right, just getting the comments ready to on all the different platforms here. While I'm doing that, start thinking about the questions you want to ask me. Anything about real estate sales, investing. Share this live with your friends, family, agents, investors. I've got about 15 minutes for this one. Then I'm doing a podcast interview. All right. It's Monday. You can't be streaming now. What's wrong with Monday? Jack or JXKX. Why would I not stream on Monday? Are you not supposed to stream on Mondays? Anyway, got Mike one Tim on TikTok. What state do you mostly invest in? It's a toss up right now between Florida and the DC area. All right, so I've been doing real estate in DC, Northern Virginia market, Maryland as well. That region since 2011. I bought my first house there in 2007. My real estate team that my wife and I run, mostly my wife now. We've got 80 agents there. We closed 1,100 deals in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area in 2021. All right. So we've got a lot of deals there, a lot of agents, and I probably have 200 units in my condo pipeline up there. I'm developing a lot of condos. Florida right now, I have a personal home that I'm building, almost done. All right. I'm in it today. Not much in this office yet. I still got to get TVs and some lighting and other equipment, but I do have 5 Airbnbs. One of them or 2 of them are still being renovated. Airbnbs. So, yeah, that's the deal on my real estate investments. It's part Florida, part DC, part Maryland, part Virginia. I'm a limited partner in a couple funds as well that invest in other areas. All right. So there's that. All right. Anyway, let me know what other real estate questions you guys have. If you don't have a good real estate question, do me a favor. If you're on TikTok, double tap on the screen, hit the little share button down there. On Instagram, you can hit the airplane. Lives at home in his parents' bedroom. That's kind of funny. People say the weirdest things. What other useful real estate questions, comments do you guys have other than user Y9IAXKXP2? I mean, who the hell has that as a username? What's up on Instagram, Hosea? Nice to see you, buddy. Are you worried about the Airbnb market being oversaturated in Florida? That's a really good question. The short answer is no. Every time I buy an Airbnb, I evaluate it on the cash flow. So if it's cash flowing a high number, I'm not worried. Now, I do realize if more people buy single families or condos, towns, whatever, and turn them into Airbnbs, that could drive your revenues down, right? That could drive your revenue down. So that's a possibility, right? And certainly there could be a pullback. We've had an insane amount of increase in Airbnb rentals. For example, the property next to me, next door to here, I used to rent that out when I started in 2018 for about $500 a night on average. Now it gets 11, 12, 1300 even. Right, so it's doubled. That's not going to continue forever. So a couple things. When you buy a new Airbnb, you got to go on what does it make today. All right, you don't want to bet that it's going to continue to go up. And I think you want to plan some margin in case it goes down. All right. So two ways to make your Airbnbs safe. One, make sure they have a minimum cash on cash return, right? And make sure they have a minimum debt coverage service ratio. So if you're, maybe 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, something like that at a minimum. Really, it should be like closer to 2, I think. So if your debt payments are about 5, I think it should bring in 10K a month. Then you could take half the hit on the rental and still cover. And then make sure it works as a long-term rental. All right. So if you have those two things, you're safe. A couple other questions here. Someone asked, how did you become a real estate developer? I'm trying to be one. Well, I started off as an agent. I was a real estate agent, and then I would get control of deals that I liked, and then I would go out and partner with existing developers. Then I learned how to raise capital. So it kind of grew from my real estate business, being able to find deals, identify what's good, get them under contract, and raise capital. Let's see, Mike 1, Tim, what's the difference between a real estate investor and an agent? An investor buys deals, all right, or they get things under contract and they wholesale them. And then there's a lot of ways to invest. You can wholesale, do short-term rentals. What's up 6 figures to 7? So you can wholesale deals, do short-term rentals, do flips. An agent helps other people buy and sell. So they make their money by charging commissions on the sale of new homes or existing homes, right? The resales. So being an agent doesn't require you to put money into it. Very low margin of entry, low cost to enter to be an agent. You always have to sell a home though to get the next income, not like investing. All right. Now you can build up a sales team. All right. You can build up a sales team and then, get passive income from sales. That's essentially what my wife and I have done with our real estate team. We've got about 120 people that work for us. Is Grant Cardone an investor? Yeah, I think he bought like 4 deals in the last couple of weeks. So he's buying deals like crazy. He invests in multifamily deals, low cap rate deals. They pay 3.5% to 4%. He's doing crowdfunding, Reg A, Reg D for accredited investors. He's got a couple different channels of how he raises the fund, most of it through social media. In terms of raising the money, marketing, and doing this through social media, he's one of the best at it. I don't know who else has done it quite like him in the multifamily space. All right. So he's definitely an investor, and he's buying deals where he doesn't have to do work on them either. He's not buying stuff where he's doing ground up development or even a major value add. They're really just buying it and taking over, making minor tweaks, to increase management, decrease vacancy, that kind of thing. Good question. What other questions do you have? Also, if you guys noticed, I did a series 50. I ranked all 50 states on which ones I like for real estate investing. Now I'm doing a recap, so I'm compressing them instead of 50 videos into 10. I'll probably do one at the end of that where I get them all into one video. But I've got a couple new series that I'm going to be doing. All right, we're going to be our podcast, the Hyperfast Agent podcast, just hit 200,000 downloads. So we're going to be doing a podcast on or podcast release, like the top 20 episodes ever. You'll see Grant Cardone, you'll see Gary Vee, Tat Landano, Billie Jean, a lot of cool people. So that'll be a series, top 20, just some highlights. I might do one on ranking the 50 best cities to invest in for real estate, and then as well as what does $500,000 get you in the biggest city in each state. I would love to see other ideas for series or podcast interviews. All right, I do a podcast, the Hyperfast Agent podcast, which is, we just hit 300 episodes, 200,000 downloads. That goes out on YouTube on the Hyperfast Agent channel. It also goes on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. couple other ways to connect with me. On Instagram, I answer my direct messages. TikTok, I put out the most amount of content. YouTube, on my own personal channel, Dan Lesniak, I put out 2 or 3 a week where I do deeper dives into some of my strategies. Sometimes I do vlogs, kind of behind the scenes looks as well. Get a real job. That's funny, Bobby. I've created jobs for hundreds of people. What about you? So those are some of the different ways to connect with me on social media. Anyway, I would love for you guys to give me some feedback on what type of content you want to see in 2022, who you want to see on the podcast. We are doing an event, by the way, in Boca Raton, Florida, January 31st, a one-day event for investors, and then February 1st and 2nd, we're doing 2 days for real estate agents. We're going to focus on teaching agents how to build teams, so how to scale, right? How to recruit, hire, and train, and get out of the trap of just trading time for money. There's a lot of successful agents that never really figure out how to get out of the trap of just trading time for money. We want to teach you how to create value for more clients, how to create value for people that you hire, and to really build some cool systems and scale. And that's going to be an amazing event. All right, both of those events will be amazing. January 31st to the February 2nd. So please check out the link in my bio if you're interested in that. All right. Bass fishing, small business to big business, concentrating real estate in rural areas. We probably won't do bass fishing, although I am a fisherman and hunter. I don't do bass fishing, though. I could. That's kind of big in Lake Okeechobee. That's like an 1.5-hour drive down in Florida. I haven't done that in a while. I do a lot of offshore or close in fishing right out of Hillsborough Inlet down near Fort Lauderdale. That could be some cool content. I like the real estate in rural areas. I think there's big opportunities there. So I'd love to have people on the show that focus on real estate in rural areas as well. What other real estate questions do you guys have for me? I've got about 2 more minutes, then I'm jumping on a podcast with one of the speakers at the event we're doing, actually. The event we're doing in just over a month. I'll be doing a podcast. First podcast interview I'm doing in the new office setup. Still don't have stuff, in here, like all of the lighting, things on the wall, TV monitors, all that cool stuff. So this is just kind of like a shell, but it looks pretty cool. I love this wall in the room. So I'm excited to have more of a full-time podcast situation down here in Florida. We've got the cool studio in DC when I'm up there with the 6 TV background and all of that. So I did a bunch of podcasts there a couple weeks ago. So those are all coming out. The first one came out on Friday with Rob Alcorn. He was a new agent on our team. Did I forget the number of deals. He was rookie of the year, though. I think he was close to 30 deals in his first year. Put up some big numbers. So check that out on the Hyperfast Agent YouTube channel or on iTunes, Spotify, all of that good stuff. All right, I probably have time for 1 or 2 more questions before I have to jump on the podcast with Jesse Zakorski. I'm excited to get on that podcast with him. So get your last questions in before the podcast begins. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Bobby. One more update before I sign off. Social media, how to follow me. TikTok is the best for content, the most content, right? I put up the most content there. Instagram's the best if you want to DM me. YouTube, the Dan Lesniak channel is the best for, 3 to 5 minutes, kind of deeper dives into some of my strategy, a little bit longer than I can do on TikTok and Instagram. And the Hyperfast Agent YouTube channels where we put the podcast, video feeds. And then, of course, you can listen to all of those on iTunes and Spotify as well. The last question is from Carlos. I want to get into real estate investing. I'm overwhelmed. Where to start? Go to real estate meetups, Carlos. All right. Go to local meetups. You will meet investors. You'll meet real estate developers. You'll meet agents. All right. Start there. Read books. Listen to podcasts. And then pick an area that you want to do. And then really focus on that niche, that area, and then do it. Take action. Last one. I'll get one more. We have an RV. Planning to buy land for vacant park. We need to make an LLC. You don't have to, but it's recommended. It gives you liability protection. Helps. I think it also helps with. It doesn't necessarily change your accounting and taxes, but I think it just helps you to be able to set up new, bank accounts to keep everything separate and cleaner. I like having LLCs for each of my businesses and entities. Sometimes when I'm buying multiple properties, I'll put a couple under one. But there's an argument to do one for each property. There's also an argument to group a few in there. Maybe 2, 3, 4, depending on the value, as long as it's covered by the insurance for that group. So definitely though, do the LLC and do the documentation right, all of that good stuff. I've got to run now. I've got the podcast coming up. Thank you for joining me. I will be doing more consistent lives in this new office. So I'm excited about that. See you guys later.